So today we are going to talk about how I want to start setting up multiple fail-safes to hopefully protect me from making impulsive decisions that lead into horrible days, etc. So I want to make every decision that I take have to go through some sort of 2 to 3 step process so that an impulse decision I can sort of catch, right? And what I mean by this is, for example, yesterday I re-downloaded Clash Royale again, and then because I was in such a happy mood, I spent $20 on the game. I then played about four games with the shit that I bought. So I bought that, and then I played like 4 games, and then I deleted it. So that was a waste of money. And so I wanted to actually start and take the effort to set up processes to stop myself from falling back into the schemes. So when did no. Yeah, so I spent that $20 on the game, and then I deleted the game after I played that 4 games because this is just a waste of my time and my money. So I deleted the game and I signed out of the App Store. And I do this every time, except it's so easy for me to sign back into my account and download Clash Royale that I can do it literally wherever I want and whenever I want. And so I do. And then it's a step-by-step process, but it's become so habitual for me that it's not even like I have to think about it. So I just kind of do the process, and it stopped being like, okay, then I got to go into the App Store and I got to sign in, and then I got to download it. And that used to be the 3-step process, but now it's simply just one big process that I go through. Right, so I want to split it back up into multiple step process so that each step of the way I can hopefully get some of my own thoughts in and stop that desire, coming into fruition. So what I'm going to do is reset my password for the App Store. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my computer when I get home, and I'm going to use the auto-generated password to generate like a long random string of text and numbers and whatever, so that I literally can't remember it. And then I'm going to sign out of my phone and then not save that password anywhere, right? So that I literally can't sign back in on my phone, so I can't download Clash Royale. And so that if I need to, I then have to go into my computer, find the saved password, type it out onto my phone, double check to make sure it's all typed out right, and then sign in, and then do it. And then if I do that, I can then go ahead and, sign back out. Hopefully I'll go through that step and realize this is a waste of time. I don't need to do all of this just to play Clash Royale. I can just go read. Right? And so this also separates it from me being able to do it whenever I'm out, because I typically get the desire or like the craving or the impulse to play Clash Royale when I'm out and about. Like when I'm on the train or when I'm at work, sat on my break, that's when I want to play Clash Royale, because I'm not filling up my time productively, so I'm just sat there waiting to do something, right? And so Clash Royale pops up in my brain. And so when I'm out and about, that's when I want to download Clash Royale. But if I do it like this, I literally can't download Clash Royale because my phone doesn't have the password. My computer does, and my computer is at home, right? And then when I'm at home, I'll have things to do anyway. So I'll be able to actually use my computer to get work done instead of find the password to download Clash Royale, And here's a quick and interesting idea that is a real thing for me. This is one of the major reasons why people who are addicted to things like video games, etc., never really break out of it, because they simply think that it is just a addiction that as long as they can go cold turkey from it and just remove the sort of dopamine cycle of playing the game, that they'll be fine. But that is just one of the many aspects of what makes an addiction so powerful, right? So I'm going to do my best to explain it right now. So one of the major aspects of what makes addictions, especially things like video games, so heavily addictive is not simply because of the dopamine that you get from it. It can actually come from the amount of resources that you have put into pursuing that activity, right? So what I mean by this is with Clash Royale, for example, I've probably spent a few $100s, probably even close to $1,000 in my 8 years of playing that game, right? So that's two major resources that I've invested into this app on my phone. Money and time. And those are finite resources. Well, money is less finite than time, but those are finite resources that I have spent into my phone, into this app, right? And my brain does not want to feel those resources were a waste, right? Feel like the allocation of those resources was a waste, because that is a painful realization to go through. And like we've discussed previously, your brain literally just wants to escape all forms of pain. So in order to escape the pain of accepting that you wasted some of your finite resources, your brain makes you continue to engage in that activity to somehow cycle a proof of the fact that you haven't wasted those resources, right? So the money and the time that I've put into Clash Royale is a waste of time. It has not been productive. It's given me fun, it's given me enjoyment, it's passed the time, but I don't see those three aspects as being positive or progressing me towards my actual goals in any way, shape, or form. So the time resources that I've allocated into the game have been wasted. Except my brain doesn't want to accept that, and so it gets me to continue to play Clash Royale as a way of trying to claw back those resources and justify the expenditure of those finite resources. Okay? So it's not simply the fact that you've got this dopamine loop in your brain where the game is so much fun that everything else seems so boring. It's also the fact that you've spent time and money and other finite resources into it that has created this bizarre area where you need to either prove and justify the usage of those finite resources or accept that they're a waste. And I know that I've sort of gone over this like 4 or 5 times, but it's really something that I want to explain and hopefully drill into your brain and help you understand it, because that's one of the big crutches of why I'm so addicted heavily into Clash Royale, because I'm still trying to justify the fact that I've spent the money and invested all the time into the game. You know, like all of the tutorials that I've watched on how to play this card better or how to play this card better. You know, all of that time that I spent learning the game, spent practicing the game, spent learning the mechanics, keeping up with the new trends and whatever decks are popular. All of that research, that time, that energy, and the money has been a waste of time. And my brain doesn't want to accept that. So that is the major thought for today. That is the process that I'm going to go through. I'm going to set up a couple fail safes to hopefully make it a few steps. Make each process a few steps to go through that are like actual steps and not just sort of like a long process, to disrupt the flow of impulse buys. Because if you can create a process that actually requires brain power to progress through that process, that brain power will get activated, and hopefully you'll be able to use that brain power to actually redirect your impulses, right? Instead of it just being an impulse and then you go straight into it, because you don't have to activate your brain in an impulse buy. And then, the other thing is not justifying, understanding that I wasted my time and my money on these video games. And that's a painful thing to do, and I don't want to do that, and I don't want to spend time on the train tonight, sat down and being like, I wasted my time playing Clash Royale. But that's what I need to do. So hopefully, very, very soon, very, very shortly, I can be free from the grips of video game addictions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.